way to dad. It's we're back, Nate. We're back to we had this segment once upon a time called "Is It Fascist?" But now I think we're just asking why is Gen X like that? And we let the Patreon vote, and unfortunately I put a movie that I do not really like in there, and that's what won, and that's Pulp Fiction. How you doing today, Nate?
I'm good. Enjoying the clear, sunny January weather after a cold snap and then some snow and rain. Although I will say, while I appreciate living in a building that's insulated and warm, it is so dry that I've been putting on lotion on my hands multiple times a day, and still my hands are so dry that my fingerprint reader on my laptop won't recognize my fingerprint.
Your fingerprint reader is telling you you're too ashy.
And I am moisturizing.
Yeah.
On the regular, multiple times a day with the good hand lotion, and it's just not like it's that winter dryness, man. It's real, but I'm good. But yeah, so we used to have this thing called Is It Fascist? And we talked about war movies, and the answer was pretty much always yes. But we started talking about Gen X movies and the ways in which Gen X also like Gen X culture influenced us, because we're old enough as millennials that like the stuff that was in the kind of cultural zeitgeist of people, you know, who were really into stuff if they were like in their 20s, you know, Gen Xers when we were teens and younger kids. That stuff was kind of ambient in the air for us, and we grew up with it, and we probably encountered this. I first saw this movie, Pulp Fiction. I didn't actually watch it because I wasn't allowed to watch it, but we lived in a really small house, and I could hear it in the other room and all the F words when I was probably 10 or 11, like barely 11, yeah. I think, something along those lines. I think my parents let my brother watch it because he was, you know, almost 3 years older than me, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. And my parents had such a like crisis of conscience after seeing this movie because they were so offended by its wholeness. We're only going to watch wholesome movies from now on. And they just rent like a bunch of Bill Murray movies for like a year. Like genuinely, this caused them to have like an epistemic collapse.
And I will say Pulp Fiction kind of did that for cinema in general. Like, I don't like Pulp Fiction. I'm not a big fan of Tarantino. I will, however, before we jump into this, say that I absolutely understand why every cinephile loves this movie. I get, you know, it's shot beautifully. It's blocked really well. It's technically very good. The characters who they got for all of these characters are very intriguing, but it's still like I said, still not my favorite. Not my favorite movie by a long shot. It does not hold up at all, I don't think. But I get it. I get why people like it. I think I first watched this probably when I was a teenager. This came out in 94, so I would have been 11. And I was at the time, I'm not at 11, but like, you know, 3 or 4 years later, that's probably when I watched it when I was a teenager. When I was like, you know, we watched this. We watched other Tarantino movies. What else came out in the 90s that was like American Psycho, you know, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That was a big one. Fear
and Loathing in Las Vegas, American Psycho. I think Fear and Loathing was, I think, either 99 or 2000. It might have been a little later. American Psycho was 2000. American Psycho. This was 94. If you look at movies in my perception that are like not necessarily direct kind of inspiration or drawing from this, but I think part of the same zeitgeist, I think Seven is a big one. 12 Monkeys,